Hello, this is Brendan and the warm-up session for drawing characters. And if you look back, this should be this going to end up being episode 16. I'm not sure if what I'm doing right now is going to make it to the video, but just in case, let me assume it is. And what we're doing here, a bit of a bigger canvas this time, which does make a difference sometimes in the way things come out. I have to use bigger brushes to do different things. In the previous videos, all of this kind of like has a little bit of a build up to it, or at least I always want to do something new in the next video too, and also have a little bit of a build up using the old stuff that we reviewed to to put it all together and make some kind of thing out of it. So we went over like head shapes, like very much in detail. Let's see, knowing all that, and look at me now. I've been doing this for X amount of years, and using the stuff that I did there, draw a really quick, dynamic face. What I'll do is like with the hairline and everything here, like one of these, the neck down there. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just turn that into a sketch layer, and then this will be the actual layer here. You can even do like multiple sketch layers sometimes. And yeah, so the point of this is based on what we did previously. We were doing like we did a lot of detail on the head shapes. We went down into the one thing we could still do also is facial features, I guess, to go get a little bit more detail into like the eyes. And I mean, I did cover a lot of that stuff. Technically speaking, it's been done, has been covered. I don't really like that ear. What do you think? That ear is like too big. Let's make it more normal. Also the size of the ear, something like that, And I mean, we did so much detail on the head and the hairline and stuff like this that I think we can say we really have covered that. And I did go into bodies and stuff. I do feel like I need to go a little bit more into detail with the body, because the previous one I did, I don't know why, I just already feel like it's outdated. And yeah, so how long did that take? And there is not a very good, but a simple head layout there. Was that even 2 minutes? And so if you have to sketch up a lot of characters real quick, there's techniques that I use. It is helpful. It's just a quick little like circle, square, bada bing, bada boom kind of thing. Can I say that? Is that a little too cheesy? He has some kind of afro hair, but I'm okay with that. There's so many random hairstyles in the world today. So the point was to tie some of that stuff together and see how we can make some more interesting characters and go into detail with them. I guess so. I will go ahead and do a bit more detail with I'll go into more detail with the, what would you call, the features, facial features and other things. Is this, I can put this layer back up technically. No, I'll leave it down. Okay. So what I want to do to make some crazy characters, we know that if I want to do a side view of someone, we'd start off with like a oval, slightly egg-like oval here, go like this, go like that, right? But now I want to really make some like characters, like some crazy characters, because not everybody, if everybody in this story looks exactly the same, well, I mean, that does happen sometimes. You get these like manga, is it M-A-N-G-A, manga characters, and I mean, no offense, manga is great, but sometimes the characters also always look the same. It depends, I guess. You have good manga and bad manga. But what I want to do is break out of the norm to really bring out some some wildness, some what's the point of drawing people if they all look normal all the time? Just like, you could take a picture of people and then put some word bubbles on it and call it a picture book, or just make a movie, right? The point of drawing is so we can do some crazy stuff sometimes. So I'm going to take these tricks and tips that we learned from last time. I'm going to exaggerate upon them. So instead of making a normal sized head, brain, skull area, I'll make a super long one. Maybe it'll be like alien head, and go like this for the jaw. We'll make everything else pretty much the same at first. Excuse me, I got a bit of a cold. Just a bit of a cold. I say that too much. I really do. It's winter time, and that's just how I am. You know, I get allergies. You'll have to forgive me. You have to. You must. Okay, so we're going to do exaggerate a couple different things here and there. The head is super long, and just see what happens. You know, this is just for fun. We're having some fun now. Big nose. Maybe you'll end up looking like a witch. I still want to go in there and get the details with the mouth, the lips coming out the way they should, and a chin. And that's about that. Now, if the head is that long, maybe the spine will be back here. And that could be like this. Who knows? So, let's call that our foundation layer. Get rid of this one. This will be our drawing layer. I still want to sketch out a bit more here. Where would the hair be? Hair would be like here. That. And the ears, in order to match that crazy thing there, ears would be like that. And big nostrils. The hair could come down like this, dangling from the back. Maybe there's some kind of like headdress, like a bandana kind of thing going on here. Fill in the ears a little. This is all very sketchy, so I don't expect you to, you know, this is my own personal sketch mode right here. So you may or may not be able to make out everything I'm doing. Okay, so now I'll go into this, the drawing layer here. Just delete what I had there. Start doing some weird stuff. Or some normal stuff. Who knows? I do need to learn more things on this software. I don't even know how to make you know, smoother lines sometimes, because I don't have the steadiest hand. Very much aware of that. And have the hair come back here. If I was on the GIMP, I know I can hold a key or something and make a straight line. And they also have something called smooth stroke. If you turn on smooth stroke in the GIMP, it'll make all of your pen strokes. It'll like help you to guide them, to make them a little bit more smoother than they normally are. Alright, let's see if I can do something with the nose here while we're talking about details. I think most people have a general idea that you have two nostrils, and on the side of each nostril you have like this flap of skin, right? That goes there, and on the bottom of the nose, you want to note as the lips get closer to the nose, there's a little patch of skin right here that kind of like smooths out to get into where the nose is. And of course, every nose is different. There's so many different types of noses, but you can have there's going to be what we call the bridge of the nose here, and that's going to make a lot of difference per character. Some people go like this, right, with the bridge of their nose, and what that's saying is they have a small bridge to their nose, but they have a lot of meaty part up in the front here, or maybe they just have a lot of cartilage. The front of the nose is cartilage, that's why it can bend and twist the way it is. It's not actually bone. Only this top part up here is actually going to be bone. For this character, I'm going to just do one of these. Forehead comes down to right where the eyes meet, and something like this. From a side view, you want to show the roundness of the eyes, as I've said before. That's like that. Okay. Have these sideburns come down a little bit. So it's a strange character, and who knows? Sometimes just by playing with these. Just play with some of those foundation features to make a strange character like that, and it'll help you. It can help to bring out some creativity, some actually more like inspiration. For me, the difference between creativity, inspiration, and some other things are all. The difference is very important. You have to really break it down. Which one is which? Which way is this hair going? I'm thinking. And is it he or she? Can't even tell. Some kind of goblin-like monster or something. Did hair in a previous episode. Since this bandana-like thing is right there, there should be a little bit of shade underneath it. So what I'm saying is this part of the hair is being pulled back, but when it gets to the back, it's actually just, it just falls flat down. That gives you a feeling that it's like thin, it's like dry, thin hair that just kind of like falls with the gravity. There's a strange character. Yeah, the creativity for me is the part where, let's have a little hair dangling here. It's the part where you have a job to do, so you have to be creative to find a way to get that job done. If somebody says, draw me a guy with an axe, well, I have to think in my head, what does an axe look like? What kind of axe should I use? What should the guy look like? All these, things I have to use. I'm using my imagination, yes, but it's the creativity that is the part which allows me to get from the having a problem to solve and then for the problem being done. That's creativity for me anyway. Some people might want to argue. Inspiration is where you just suddenly have a great idea. Okay, so there's one weird character I did. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties here. I'll go make another one again, and I'll finish what I was saying, but I just in between here. I'm on the wrong layer. No, there we go. Okay. And I'm going to exaggerate something different this time. Instead of exaggerating the circle, maybe I'll exaggerate like the length of the face. And I'll do this one from front view. Okay. So, so that would be creativity. And then inspiration would be what? Inspiration would be something more like, when you just suddenly get a great idea. It's like the light bulb. On top of a character's head. It's like the, sorry, I was just thinking about too much at once because I'm designing this character at the same time. Okay, so it's like the light bulb. It's like that moment, eureka, where you just suddenly realize you have a great idea, and you just know that everybody will love it if you do it. It could be a new book idea. It could be a new drawing or a painting that you want to do. That's the inspiration. Some great idea comes up. So you have inspiration, creativity, and what's the other one? I know there's another one. It'll come to me in a minute. This guy's got a real long nose. And the reason I make such a big fuss over that is because having been, I guess, quote unquote artist, I don't know, maybe am I an artist? I think it's the correct technical word. I do make some money off of art, and it's something I've done since I was young. It does seem to be in my nature. So depending on how you believe, I personally feel like I'm an artist. But so people would say like, "Oh, you're an artist, aren't you? You should have some great ideas." But actually, not necessarily. Sometimes as an artist, I feel like it's just my job to draw well. It's a craftsmanship. It's something. It's a job that has to get done. Not necessarily to say that I have all these wonderful ideas. That would be somebody who is very has a lot of inspiration. But people don't talk like that, right? It's not something you normally hear. You don't hear somebody being described as, oh, he's a guy with lots of inspiration. However, technically speaking, maybe that is what we should say more often. Maybe we shouldn't say, he's very creative. Because I feel as though that's an incorrect usage of the word. Some ears. So here's another very strange character, but it's fun. All I did was make his face longer, and then I followed all the same rules that I normally follow, and you have this crazy skinny character. And I'll just clean him up a little. And I also, decided to do something a little special with him. You see how I brought his cheekbones into the front. It makes it look like he's really skinny. And you can do something like a dimple in the chin even. There's all these wild and crazy different types of features that people can have. Some people have dimples when they smile, some people don't. That's another thing we could get into, is drawing facial expressions. That's kind of a big thing within itself. I did not make that very symmetrical. Let me try that again. Still trying to think, what was that other thing I was thinking of? Creativity. inspiration, creativity, and something else. Lips here. If we go looking into the details of a lips, let's look at a regular mouth in a resting position. Actually, it often makes out a frown. A lot of people, they have a tendency to want to make a happy face, but many resting mouths, like if you walk around with this on your face, you're going to get a lot of weird looks, because that's not how people usually are. Actually, most people's mouths, when they're in the resting position, have not necessarily a frown, but it just makes, basically like a frown. Because if you think about it, what it actually is, it's two lips, right? So if this is the middle center part here, here's a bottom lip. And if you have, like people who have like thicker lips, more luscious lips kind of thing, it gets this kind of shape to it. And on the top, if you look in the mirror, pretty much everybody has this thing right here. Say if this is the nose, at the bottom of the nose, you have this kind of like almost like a cave, a crevice or something like that. It's like it dips in a little bit, and everybody has this. It almost looks like if you go back to the animal kingdom, let's say we have a dog's nose, looks like this. If I were to do a real quick, just cartoony dog, like this. And the dog's mouth, before you draw the whiskers, it has this kind of thing, right? And you could have some whiskers, or maybe it's a cat, maybe it's a dog, I don't know, whatever. But you have this kind of thing where the each side of the face is separated, right? So we humans also have this thing too. But if you're drawing like, see, I did put a little line in there to suggest it. The only thing is if you're drawing like a cartoony face, or something that's not that big. Where did my pen go? Yeah, okay. You don't really need to draw it out every time, because if he's in a lit room and there's not that much lighting going on, it doesn't really stand out that much, but it is there. So it's good to remember that. And then, so if we do it again, we have the lip, the actual mouth itself here, the bottom part here, and this part comes up a little, because again, there's another little like dimple down here, kind of like a crevice, and then this part goes like this. So it's a very interesting shape. And then the lips, if you look in a close-up in the mirror, they have a lot of I don't know, kind of like wrinkles, kind of like lines to them. It's a flexible thing. So yeah, that's all interesting stuff we can get into. I think I will do an episode on that, doing lips and stuff. Like when you draw a girl with makeup on her lips, and there's going to be some shine and glimmer to it. It's all kind of interesting. Hairline you don't want it to always be perfect, right? You have a little hair falling down, and there's a little wiggle, a little shake to it. Recently I've been drawing a lot of my characters with their hair pulled back, with this kind of, what would you call, the greaser kind of days. It's like old school, going way back in time, John Travolta and like disco days. They got their hair all slicked back, something like that. I don't know, good enough. I accidentally put a dot in his face. You know what? I'm going to leave it there too, because that's pretty cool. That's also something you'd expect to see. One of those random things that just makes things look more interesting, because in real life people do have moles on their face. Maybe he could even have a scar on his face. And when you see things like that, it just brings out that little touch of something special. Okay, I'm going to take a break here. I got to see if I can remember what that other word was. It was creativity, inspiration, and what was it? I'm going to feel dumb when I remember it. But yeah, I'll be right back in a minute. We'll do some more of these. Imagination was the word. Imagination. And let me get back in here with another one. Oh, where's my tablet? Yeah, stuffed it away. Okay, so where are we now? We're on this layer. Go back to the sketch layer, and we're going to do another one. Let me get a bit of inspiration here, and I need inspiration and creativity now, and I need it quickly, so I'm doing this live. Maybe let's do like a wider head from the front view, and we'll even try and make it female. Like this one here is kind of ambiguous. I guess it looks a little female. This one looks male. And I also thought, I don't know why suddenly, because of his style, And that's another cool thing that happens sometimes when you play with crazy stuff like this. Maybe he just deserves a mustache, like a mustache. And why it just came out like that. You come down like this, a little bit over there. Yeah, just one of those random things that makes things a bit more interesting. And I know, yeah, we're back on this layer here, sketch layer. And like we would say before, for a female, if you want to make them a bit more dainty or something, just more feminine, then you play with that. We'll go ahead and give her big, leave a lot of space here to make some big lips. So there's, what do you call them, like luscious lips, I guess. And, we can do this with the nose. Okay, so the other word was imagination. And how does that one fit in there? Well, imagination is, again, it's more of a tool that needs to be used. So when applied to art and being an artist, or someone who likes just appreciates imagination, you could say that Einstein had a brilliant and amazing imagination, because he was able to just hold all these amazing concepts in his mind. That takes imagination. That's like, it's almost like raw brain power in a way. The ability to part her hair. I want to do a different kind of hair. How about like curly hair this time? And it'll be random, like curly hair like this. So, Einstein, his type of mathematical and physical imagination would be different from other types of imagination. Do I need a nose bridge here? I could do that if I want to. I can put it in there. It's not really necessary. And but he's not an artist, right? So, maybe he is. You could even say that if you wanted to. Maybe some people would argue he did play the violin, and maybe some people feel that math is like art. I'm fine with that. I'm going to bring our cheekbones out just a little, and I'm going to be careful with like symmetry, because we have this very wide head. It's almost hard for me to get it right where it needs to be. And so, imagination is like, I guess, raw brain power. Not quite sure. Let's go ahead. Her features are coming out with a bit more definition, so because of the size. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and draw out the nostrils this time. Going to be real careful with the symmetry. And the eyes, as I've mentioned many times before, are very important. For the eyes here, you might see I frequently will just do something like this. If the eyes come out big enough that I can actually draw in the eyes and the pupils and stuff like that. The reason I make this Pac-Man C shape is because whenever you have an eye, I'm jumping into some details this time. This and that. You'll have a retina. You have actually, I'm not sure. This is the pupil. What is this outer part called? Is that the retina? I can't remember, but you know what I mean. You look at eyes all the time. You have the outside part, you have the inside black part, that's the pupil. You have this part here, because the eye is actually a ball, and it's being covered by some eyelids, right? And then you have the eyelashes. Well, this part here, there's usually a little bit of color in here, and if you really zoom in close, you'll see like a lot of like lines, squiggly lines. There's like, it's almost like eye muscles that allows your pupil to expand and contract, because when it's dark your pupils will get bigger to allow more light in, and vice versa. If it's very bright, then they'll shrink. So that adds the color to the eye. And then what happens, there's always a light, almost always there's a light coming from somewhere, and it will reflect. It will reflect off of your eyes, because your eyes are a little watery, a little glassy, so there's kind of a mirror effect. And so you might get something like this, but frequently there's just like one light source, such as the sun, and it'll just leave a big white spot like that. See, so that even so quickly, that just kind of comes out like an eye. So when you're getting cartoony and you just need a quick eye, you go, you can just do something like this. Just make a little like half circle, like almost a moon shape or a Pac-Man face kind of thing, and that'll give the suggestion that there is eye, and there's the inner part of the eye in there, but it left some space where the light would be reflecting off, and you can have that light on the left side, the right side, whatever. Go into curly hair here. Curly hair, when it curls around, it has it has curls that make circles like that, and it also has the parts where the curls end. That's the tips of the curls. So you might, and if it's random crazy curly hair, you never know what's next. So you can do like a circle, a flip, just like that. Okay. At least bring it down far enough so that she can still see. You don't have to. You can make the character even crazier and let her hair completely go over her eyes. That'd be unique. So yeah, imagination, creativity, and inspiration. 3 different things. That's why they're 3 different words. Another reason why I think creativity gets misused a lot is because, I feel like I'm just done with that. That's it. We can move on to the next one. Yeah. I think creativity gets misused a lot. Another reason is because of what is creative. It comes from the meaning to create. Right? That's where it starts at. So if I am a person who, wouldn't you say that if I'm a person who's created a book and created a movie and that would be creative. So being creative is having that energy to do things, right? I'm going to do one with a kind of a 3D view now, and I've been doing it facing that way a lot. Let me face another way. I'll face this way this time. And what will I exaggerate this time? I'll exaggerate the jaw. Oh, you know what? Actually, I had an idea. I'm going to make like a boxy one too. That's what I'll do right here. Okay. So, yeah, the creativity, a creative person for me is someone who makes a lot of stuff. I might actually be a creative person, not like tooting my own horn, but actually it's like something I do. I do create a lot of things. So this will come down like this. Yeah, that's right. So that's just meaning that I make a lot of things. So if people say, "Oh, you're an artist, you must be imaginative," and you must have a lot of ideas. But I think that has to do with inspiration, and it's not necessarily the other. Creative is just it means you're doing a lot of stuff, making a lot of things. And then imagination is imagination, and inspiration is inspiration. So I'm going to make like a box head here, and I just thought it'd be interesting. From here, I still want to follow the rules. By following all the rules, yeah, that should be there. This is kind of like something like that. So his eye should be just about here. Too bad I don't have that, because I'm new to this software. I don't have that. Maybe he has glasses even. That's what I'm going to do. Put glasses here. If it had the the other software, so I still have to figure out on this software how to do that. Some nostrils in there. If the head comes out for this one, the nose, how would that work? I'm not even sure. Maybe I'll just leave the nostrils like that. That's good enough. This will be the hair. And so the hairline for this one, do the same thing, follow our rules. The temple, this goes down, that goes up. And there's his hair. I guess there'll be like a box neck that comes down. Yeah. So it's kind of like a box man. I should have done this on the other layer. How do I fix that? What I can do is this. Move this down here. Real quick, sorry for the wait. Put that back down. Okay. I just wanted to move that down to the, I meant to put that on a sketch layer. Okay. I'm on the wrong layer. That's right. Wrong tool, perhaps? Nope. Sometimes I hit some button over here. Alright, just a second, I'll be right back. I gotta fix this. Okay, I still had a selection. I still had a selection in there, and I needed to get rid of that selection. Should be, yeah, cooking with grease. Let me see real quick. Maybe there is a line tool in here. You know what? Yeah, I am going to do that. I'm going to figure out where that... Oh, here it is. That's it. Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't have to pause or anything here. And I'm suggesting a little bit of perspective here, but I'm not going crazy with it. This is for fun. Let's make a little box man. I guess put the ears up like this. Okay. The back of the glasses will come out like that, behind the ear. Yeah. Sorry if I'm being a little quiet. That's about that. Oh, wait. Yeah, I was trying to draw a circle there. This is weird, I haven't done this before. And I just need certain lines in certain places. I think I need this line first. Yeah. So this is a cool looking character. Alright, so now I'll go back into the regular normal mode, and I'll draw in the little features I have here. And I'll put a little eye in there. See, this time I'm not going to worry about that reflective light thing. I could if I wanted to. Maybe I think it's because he has glasses on. Doesn't matter. Hide this layer. Okay. Now you get this crazy box head character. Still following the same rules of putting things where they should be with, you know, the eyes and, you know, the head, and, you know, starting off with that same framework, but making a crazy character like that. So there's 4 quick characters. I think I'm going to do one more, but I need a quick break. If you can't tell, I'm getting a little tired out here. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this up in just a minute. Hold on. Okay, and so while we're on the topic of characteristics, I thought we should get into some things dealing with age as well. And so I'm going to do a little bit more normal of size and shape of a head, maybe. We'll see what happens. And maybe I will even do a longer, crazier shape. Just play with it a little. Something like this. And play with like age and stuff like that. It makes, it's also a way to bring out characteristics in people. So, yeah, as usual, I'm on the wrong layer. Not as usual, but, you know, frequently have to double check that. Why is this not writing? Must be on. Oh, that layer's not visible. That's fine. Nope. There we go. Okay. Now, this oval, I am using my imagination quite a bit here when I make this. You know, remember a brain, an actual brain shape to it? It also has like a stem to it in the bottom, so there's a lot of things like that to be considered. If I were to draw like, you know, more of a, let's say it's like a transparent head. You have this like here, brain coming back there, and, you know, chin. Let's say that you can see through to the skull here, and the teeth come through here. You know, cheekbones come around the side. There's obviously you can't make that out, but there's a lot of things to be considered. I'm trying to erase, it's not erasing. There we go. Just a quick point I'm trying to make, that there's a lot of things to be considered, and so I do think about that when I'm making these foundation shapes as well. And you know what? I don't. When I go like this, they always end up like going on a downward perspective. So I want to kind of try and get it so maybe we're even looking up towards them, and just use your imagination a little bit. And you can see, if I'm looking up towards them, I'll still have this sideline here, but maybe the chin won't have this upward slant so much, because if their head is up in the air, then the top of their head will have this slant, and the chin will be flat. Because let's see, if we look at this side view here, what we end up with is something like this for the head, right? This is the bottom of the chin right here, and this would be like the nose up here and the mouth, right? So if you tilt this upward, what's going to happen is the chin will be actually parallel with the ground. It'll be horizontal. The face will be looking upwards. There's the nose looking upwards, and the top of the head actually tilts back a little bit, like that, right? So here we have, you know, looking straight up, and here we have tilting the head back a little, like that. So with that being the case, you know, we'll just wow, what happened here? Made a big mess. And you know, I'm doing the stringy lines now. That's because I'm getting a little more into these the type of details I'm talking about. So it does get more difficult. It is more of a strain on my imagination, and just got to think of stuff like that. So I'm going to draw a regular guy, and I'm going to give him maybe some more pronounced features, such as a bigger nose, and I'm going to make him old, so his puffy eyelashes, wait a minute, not eyelashes, eyebrows. And what kind of hair? We did hair last time. Since he's older, maybe we can go ahead and give him the you know, receding hairline kind of thing. Maybe it comes, he's all bald on the top, one of those kind of things. And when their head is, you know, when we look at them from a side view like this, you can make out the neck pretty good, or you should be able to anyway. Alright, so this is really rough. Sorry if you can't make it out at the moment. That was, you know, it's me. Sometimes I've heard people say that sketching is like an artist's personal notes. It's his notebook. So sometimes if you're looking at something I do in my sketch phase, I'm just sketching things out there. It's kind of like I'm not sure if I can do it in a way that everybody can see it, because the whole point of a sketch is to do it quickly. You know, not to spend all day in it, just to jot down some ideas, a general sense of the direction you want to go, and to get a foundation. Just like if you're going to write a book or a story or an article, you start off with a rough draft. It's basically the idea. Now, I always got to be careful with how far I bring him back. I have this thing where by the time, even though he's bald, let's say if he did have a hairline, where would it go? Because that'll help to tell us whether or not... Yeah, see, I didn't really make enough space here for his cheek. And the reason for that could be because this is too long. Maybe his eyes should be in there a little bit further. And yeah, there gives us... Because you need a little temple, you need a side cheek area here, and the jaw has to come out like that. So it looks a little better like that. Okay, so... Now, I said he has, it's one of these things where, you know, he just has hair around this part, and he's bald on the top. Say, traditional male pattern balding. Is that what they call it? Pattern balding. Could depend on, they say it's genetic. Could depend on your genes, nationality, or something like that. And... well, assuming he's gray-haired also, so this here, I have like gray eyebrows, eyelashes. And since he's older, we'll have, I think they call these something crow. It's like crow's feet. Crow's feet that come out the back there. And you get some wrinkles around here. Maybe the muscle, the skin when you're older starts to get, I guess, a little dry and... you know, I hope I'm not being rude going into detail about this, but, you know, this kind of things happen. It's almost like you can see the muscles through the skin. Things just become a little bit more pronounced. So you have a cheek muscle there that might show through. Might be some things around the lips. And creases in various areas where creases are, you know, when you make facial expressions. So there you have a bit of an older guy. See if I turn off that layer, what we have remaining here. when you have the sketch layer on, you can miss a lot of stuff because it does fill in a bit of the space here and there. So it's good to turn that off and see if you finished it well. Okay. So older character. Yeah. You can tell he's a older guy. There could be more details. Maybe not the most beautiful thing, but gets a general idea across. And that's about all we really have time for when we're doing stuff like this real fast. So while we did that there, we could also go with, can we do a younger person? Do a younger person. I think on a younger person, we're going to have, is this layer still off? Yes, it is. One thing that's harder with a younger person, if you're only doing the head, like this here could pass for a younger person, and so I mean, yeah, I don't think it's really even worth it. They might have some features are not grown in yet. The size of a person's head, oddly enough, they say it stays about the same for most of your life. I think the size of the head grows first, and then everything else is your body grows, and your head will grow first, and then your body follows it, something along these lines, because your brain has to develop. And so the only prominent features you have, I guess, is like just like on this one here, it's more delicate when you're younger, smoother curves. Maybe your jaw hasn't come in yet because you don't have wisdom teeth. So this one here could pass for a younger one. So yeah, what do I do next? Need one more, quickly. Think. I'll just do something random. We'll see what happens. This will be the last one, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do like a superhero kind of thing. Something with more prominent characteristics. That's what I wanted to do. Is it's not just about young or old, but I was trying to get into these characteristics. Head needs to come back a little bit more. Okay. And let me see. Sometimes to bring out the characteristics of somebody with real character to him. I'd say it's like a mean boss kind of guy, and so he's going to look very strong. He's got beady eyes. Just doesn't look happy. Big, pronounced, strong chin. Mafioso, almost like Marlon Brando, the Godfather. And he's just completely bald. This guy. It'd be like he could even be fatter, like the Kingpin. If you ever read Daredevil comics. So there's a foundation for that. And he's not old, but he does still have the crow's nest here, because you don't have to be that old to get those lines over there. You can have people, even younger than their 20s, teenagers and stuff, can develop those wrinkles. And there's reasons for that. Ask a girl who cares about skin beauty, and she'll tell you why. I don't want to go into the details about that personally. Give this guy big earlobes. And he's going to have, to make him look strong, he's going to have very prominent protrusion for many areas here. For the chin, I had a prominent protrusion here. For this forehead area, cheeks could do better, but I'm going to just leave them like that. And the chin pops out. The reason for this is, let me just think about the mouth here for a minute. I will give him a closed mouth here. He's keeping a stiff upper lip. The reason for this, I was talking about these protrusions, is that he, to look strong, that means his bone structure will be stronger as well. And so, somebody with stronger, in order to have strong muscles to begin with, you need strong bones to hold up those muscles, right? So he would have prominent, the parts of his bone will be coming out through his, it'll be expressed through his face a bit more. See, that looked a lot better with the actual sketch layer on there. Because sometimes you can just merge the sketch layer And now since he has these deep set eyes, because he has a prominent the prominent bone structure kind of thing going on, maybe there would be a little bit less glare, so his eyes would have that dark stare to him. And a little dimple there. How do we get that? Right, you gotta get like a chin dimple come out of him. It'll show that his bone structure is very strong in that area. I think this is back too far. And this will show, kind of showing the muscles a bit more in this area. I think you can guess the reason for that. Like when I do this line here is crease. I don't know why, it just has a bit more of menacing. There's different things I could say as to why that is. Now he has a bald head, but does that mean, he could have some like stubble up here too. I don't know if I have time to draw a whole bunch of stubble. This is one of those situations where I should use like a tool. How small can I get this pen to go? This is like 3,000 by 2,500 canvas. Right. Just because he's bald doesn't mean you have to leave his head completely blank. And you never even know. There could be like some texture to the skin up here. Might even just be like, maybe he has a pimple or a mole or something up there. Nobody's perfect. That's kind of pretty strong. Right? It's got some character to him. Over here. I guess his neck should probably be longer. I don't care. There's different ways to do this. Let me see. What happens, I'm just going to experiment here. Bring his neck down much further. Yeah, like that. Make more sense. But you won't see too much the other side of the neck. So what happens here, the muscle come down from his neck, meet in the middle, go across there. This will be his collarbone. And so actually, technically speaking, his shoulder would start right over here with a bulge for the muscles. I don't need that part. Yeah. Not coming up. Alright, good enough, good enough. I think, yeah, that's, that turns out okay. Kind of what I was going for. Just not too old, just a regular aged, mean looking, bossy guy. And that's that. So here you see I whipped up just random characters without even thinking too much about what they're supposed to be, just having some fun, seeing what comes out of it. And that's why drawing can be fun sometimes too, just messing around with the different tools that you have to make things. And who knows, maybe you'd come up with one you really like. Maybe this one sparked your imagination, right? And it made you want to go write a whole new comic book or write a story or something like that. It's just random having fun. And that's about it. So also, if you guys like this one, you watch this much, do go ahead and hit the like button. I appreciate it very much, and I will keep making more of these videos. If you have any requests of particular things you'd like to see, please do go ahead and leave a comment or send me a message, however you do that. And check out my website and other stuff that's going on to keep up to date with all the stuff that's happening. I'll be making a lot of art next year. This is a young channel, so I don't have many subscribers right now, but hopefully we'll build it up a little bit more, and we'll have a lot of fun. Alright, thanks guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.